As a BDSM educator and intimacy coach, I specialize in the DS dynamic because I firmly believe that it is truly the most natural, organic relational dynamic, and that exists in every single relationship, even if that couple is self-proclaimed vanilla. Before we jump into it today, I wanted to do another patron spotlight. Shout out to the Curvy Girl Loves for contributing this gorgeous, decadent robe. For those of you not on my Discord, she bought this for herself, loved it so much, bought it for me, and now we are twins and it's fabulous. I put the link in the video description if you want to grab one for yourself on Amazon. The DS dynamic allows both partners to define their roles, which leads to immense clarity and relational connection. Because here's the thing, two leaders, two dominant types in a relationship together will often breed confusion because each partner has their own agenda and is trying to go their own way. We don't have a united agenda. Whereas if you have two subtypes together, two followers, that will lead to relational complacency because both followers are waiting on the other one to lead. So actually, the DS dynamic can really clear all of that up and serve your relationship in a beautiful way. However, these roles can sometimes be confused due to ignorance, inexperience, or insecurity. And we in the lifestyle refer to these role confusions most commonly in the terms of topping from the bottom and bottoming from the top. Now, topping from the bottom is when the bottom partner should be in the submissive role, but they try to control the acts or flow of the scene or attempt to manipulate the dominant's attitude or actions. Conversely, bottoming from the top is when the top partner should be in the dominant role, but they act from a bottom perspective and rely on the bottom partner for guidance and instruction. Now, as I was going through that description, you were probably going, oh, that would be confusing. That would really mess everything up. And you're absolutely right. These role confusions, when they take place in a DS dynamic, can have the potential to obliterate the entirety of that power exchange dynamic. So it's crucial that we avoid this role confusion. That is why I have also released a private patron-only video with my 5 secrets to preventing and eliminating role confusion in your power exchange dynamic. These role confusions can absolutely destroy your BDSM relationship. So be sure to head over to Patreon to learn how to keep your power exchange dynamic healthy and secure. Now, in my experience, the easiest and most common ways that these role confusions can kind of sneak in is through 2 primary channels, bratting and service topping. Bratting is a style of submission in which the bottom partner behaves in mischievous, sassy, or otherwise playfully disobedient ways as means to get attention, aggression, and often punishment from their dominant partner. So when bratting can start out very playfully, it can certainly cross the line into a topping from the bottom situation when the brat is not getting what they want, so they escalate the situation and they cross that line from bratting into topping from the bottom. And we also have a service top, and a service top is a switch partner who enjoys serving their dominant partner by topping in accordance with their dominant partner's desires. Now, here are 2 things that you need to be very, very clear on when it comes to what service topping is and is not. The service top administers sensation and guides the typically dominant partner through their desired scene versus dominating the typically dominant partner in accordance to their own will. The service top also does not authentically dominate. They simply guide in accordance with a script or instructions that have been predetermined for them. Now, just as most everything in the BDSM lifestyle, this topic of service topping is pretty organic. Some people say that service topping should never ever happen, and that in of itself will cause this role confusion. Others believe that service topping can actually be a beneficial part of the dynamic if that works for that unique couple. I, as you can imagine, fall somewhere in the middle. I like balance. I seek balance. So yes, I do see that service topping can, if you do not have the right communication and boundaries, and we'll get to that in a moment, can cause role confusion. However, I've also met couples where a service top situation serves them very, very well. And these three examples are the most common situations in which a service top could benefit the dynamic. An experienced submissive or switch with a newbie dominant, an eager or curious switch with a switch or dominant partner, and a tired dominant with a switch partner. However, like I said before, there are some vital steps that you need to take if you are going to engage as a service top with a service top to make sure that your dynamic doesn't go to shit because of role confusion. Go to patreon.com/ellexerotica now to learn my 5 secrets to maintaining the proper power exchange dynamic in your relationship. Now, different dominant types are going to respond differently to both a brat and a service top. So the line of where does it cross from bratting to role confusion or service topping to role confusion? Where is that line? Where does it become destructive? That line can really be confusing, and it can really be different for every single person. And it is, honestly, very different for every dynamic. So yes, the line between bratting and topping from the bottom or service topping and topping from the bottom is going to be different for every person. But here are my general guidelines for bratting. For me, bratting crosses the line into topping from the bottom when there is outright disobedience and when the brat starts giving orders instead of giving playful pushback. And when it comes to a service top, it crosses the line into topping from the bottom or role confusion when the guidance or dominance extends past the agreed upon time or scene, and when the healthy feedback from a scene turns into criticisms and micromanaging. Regardless, when either of those boundaries are violated and it crosses the line from bratting into a role confusion or a service top into a role confusion, there is some big danger. Like I said at the start, the power exchange dynamic, these DS roles must be upheld at all times to eliminate confusion, to maintain clarity, okay? So when that doesn't happen and role confusion enters into the dynamic and we have topping from the bottom or bottoming from the top, and the top is insecure, the bottom is insecure, and we don't really know where we fit anymore, this is what's going to happen. First, confusion. In a healthy DS dynamic, it produces clarity, but when we have role confusion, it will confuse both partners in their roles, and that is bad because that leads to insecurity. Instead of confidence in having clearly defined roles, we're now insecure because we're confused. We don't know how to operate, how to act, how to respond, etc. And because we get insecure, we then conceal, we hide, versus expressing ourselves in this beautiful play, in this beautiful lifestyle. We conceal and we hide. And that concealment, that hiding, leads to detachment instead of connection. And that is why maintaining those roles, you as the top maintaining your authority, you as the submissive knowing your place, being mindful of your place, being respectful of your top, etc. Having those lines, having those boundaries, having those standards will prevent this negative flow that I just laid out for you. We don't want you to be confused. We want you to be very, very clear and very, very confident in your role, in how you can operate, in how you can play, etc. So you do not want to miss my 5 practical secrets for avoiding and eliminating, if it has snuck into your relationship, eliminating role confusion once and for all. Because yeah, you will need to reset your power exchange dynamic. So just go to patreon.com/ellexerotica to get instant access to this private bonus video.